Smackdown!
Well, morning glory and hallelujah, everybody. It is the morning after with Nick and Big J. Welcome to Thursday, 17th day of April, 2025. My name is Nick. There's Big J over yonder.
Yeah.
We are here and accounted for. Big J will have an opportunity to give you a nerd alert today. That if... explain it to the people that maybe are tuning in for the first time, and whenever you say nerd alert, they have no idea what you mean.
Yeah, it's nerdy stuff. Pretty easy. Dummies. No, it's, usually stuff about in the gaming world, video games, entertainment sometimes, that sort of stuff. Technology.
A little thing to kind of keep you in the news of things that Big J truly is interested in his free time.
Well, no, it's stuff that gamers are going to be interested in.
Yeah, but wouldn't you consider yourself a gamer?
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. I mean, these are things that you are interested in as well.
Some of it I'm not interested in.
Yeah, but that's not usually the case. I would say if you gave me 10 stories, I would say 9 out of 10 of them are something that you find interesting.
I don't know.
Otherwise, why would you report news that you're bored by? Right?
Well, because I might be bored by stuff that other people love and appeal to.
Okay, give me an example.
Nintendo.
You don't like
I don't have a Nintendo.
Yeah, but you told me
you're
thinking about getting a Switch.
Okay.
Right?
Either way, I don't have one. I've never played one, but I'll be reporting on it.
And so you will get all your Switch news that you need. And probably most of it that you don't as well. Especially if you're like Big J. But it is a cool segment that gives you an opportunity to know what's going on. And then a lot of times, it's not just gaming stuff. It's technology. And it's fun little... it used to be... remember when you had Kickstarter news in there?
That's sort of done. There's not a lot of Kickstarter stuff around anymore.
It is weird how it kind of just went away, right?
Yeah.
I mean, GoFundMes happen on a fairly regular basis. Usually those are charitable actions. But like Kickstarters used to be all the rage. And then they just, I know that they still exist.
No, they still do, but they just don't seem to move the needle.
Right.
Anymore.
It just doesn't appear to be anything that people... Is it maybe because so many people got... not necessarily burned by it, but I mean, there's so many unsuccessful ones that you give to it and then nothing ends up ever happening.
Oh, you never know what happens, right? I personally, I have Kickstarted a couple of video games, and then those things just collapsed, and then, I don't know, the money gets returned, and it's...
Yeah. But rarely is like there's any communication about it. I've Kickstarted a couple of things as well that never came to fruition, and you're like, oh, that money's back in my account, and then you go and look and see if there's any updates, and it just has disappeared. So you don't get ripped off ever, but it just feels like you are into something and passionate about it, and then it just is like, well, nobody else cares but you and 7 other people. So
well, just for you, I'm going to go find a Kickstarter campaign.
And try to champion it?
You mentioned it here in Nerd Alert later.
Well, you'll also have prizes to win on top of that on this show, and chances to get qualified for things like the Sonic Temple Music Festival. We have a big flyaway that we are taking part in, and we are going to be giving that away in about 2 weeks, so we want you to take part in that. That's going to happen at 7:30. We have a chance for you to win $2,025 in cash with a little thing called Inflation Domination. You're going to want to listen for your keyword a little after 9 o'clock. That's going to happen as well. But we need to play some music, so let's get started with some Chili Peppers, kicking things off here on the X.
Big J.
I say this story mostly for Big J, although I'm guessing he probably already knows. At least somebody in his family maybe already knows. Tickets are going to go on sale, Big J, for the 2025 St. Jude Dream Home. Are you aware of this?
Oh, God. Okay, so we watch a lot of streaming TV, right?
Uh-huh.
For whatever reason, especially HGTV, there is a promo that has aired 16,000 times involving my friend and former co-host Melissa Paul.
Okay.
She is doing the promo on this commercial.
Uh-huh.
And I've literally seen it 1 billion times.
It's your algorithm.
And I've been meaning to send her a message that she is just constant in our household. And I want to pull my hair out.
Oh, you're sick of her.
Yes.
Got it.
I would be sick of myself. But yes, it's April 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
And we will be buying a ticket.
Big J traditionally does, as do a lot of people. These tickets do sell out every single year, but this year the hospital is being built in the Oak Lawn community right off of Star Road. It is a single-level home. It's 2,100 square feet. It'll have 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. Of course, the estimated value is around $750,000. It's the 13th St. Jude Dream Home. The company has raised almost $3 million last year to help build the house. As of November 2024, apparently they're looking at around $3.2 million for this year's home. Proceeds from the raffle go directly to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. Tickets are $100 a piece. They sell out pretty quickly, but the house is the grand prize, of course. But there are a bunch of pretty high-quality second prizes and third prizes as well, including some box seats at the Boise State Broncos for the season. They're giving away a brand-new Ford truck as well as part of this. And, of course, it all goes to St. Jude's Children's Research, which is a fantastic charity organization. So know that, yes, it's going on sale soon. Big J said the date exactly right, the 23rd. And they will sell out fairly quickly.
I can't forget that date.
Well, the good news is
ingrained in my mind.
Once that date happens, that promo probably goes away.
Yeah, that'll be replaced by a new one.
So something to look forward to. Well, no, I mean, they'll sell out pretty quick.
No. I mean about just the new...
Another commercial on a loop in your house? Yes, that's the way streaming TV
back to back. It's like, knock it off.
What was it before St. Jude? You remember?
It was a bunch of Discovery programs.
Oh, there was like station promos.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not like actual commercials then.
No, there's some
that you get
mixed in there, but...
I think I told you that
definitely value-added promos right there.
My algorithm still thinks I'm Spanish, so I get a ton of Spanish commercials in all of my feed because my youngest son enjoys watching his favorite shows in Spanish just for giggles. And so then it gets all mixed up.
Is he learning any Spanish?
Not really, no. I think he just enjoys like learning, like seeing some of his favorite scenes in a different language and sounding different.
Yeah, okay.
So he gets a kick out of it. So, no, he's not picking any of that up. Although I am. Big J, if you need to tell me, you need to go word for word a couple episodes of Dora the Explorer completely in Spanish, I got you covered.
Great.
Big J, Roger Maris jersey is expected to fetch up to $2 million when it goes up for auction later this month at Sotheby's. Maris wore the jersey when he hit his 59th home run in the New York Yankees' 154th game of the 61 season. Of course, made famous, Big J, by the Billy Crystal movie 61 Asterisk. Do you remember?
I do not remember that movie.
The jersey was auctioned off 3 years ago for $244,000. But the higher estimate now, because the jersey Maris wore when he hit 5 of his home runs that season, just went for $1.6 million back in February. So that has increased exponentially in value in just 3 years. Pretty good investment for the person that brought that jersey for $250,000. So congratulations. There's a lot of money in sports memorabilia these days. There always kind of has been, but it has gone through the roof. And I would say the last 5 years, Big J. Does that sound right to you?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty significant, and it's shot up fairly quickly. So get ready to get ready. Big J, you know who Michael Shannon is, yes?
Oh, wonderful actor. Yeah.
He is going to portray Bill Parcells in an upcoming film about John Tuggle. John Tuggle kind of took the first title as Mr. Irrelevant. That's now what they call pretty much famously anybody who is the final pick in the NFL draft.
I mean, I get a whole bunch of stuff. It's like they get to go to Disneyland. It's like they won the MVP, but the opposite.
John Tuggle back in 1983 apparently was the first person that they dubbed this particular title, and apparently it's because he made an impact on the team that he was drafted by, the New York Giants. And David Corenswet is going to play Tuggle, and will show the story of why he became to be known as Mr. Irrelevant. I mean, I consider myself a football fan, not a Giants fan. I don't know who John Tuggle is. That doesn't mean he didn't have an impact on the 83 Giants, but I was a little bit before my time. I'm not a Giants fan.
Who's playing Belichick?
It doesn't say. Was he on the 83 team?
I don't know. Probably.
I know he was coached on the Giants, but he may have came around later, but I don't know.
I think Shannon, he'll do a great job.
Oh, yeah,
I can't wait to see what that looks like.
How do you think David Cornswet will do?
I don't know. He'd probably do pretty good. He's a pretty good actor.
Of course, you know him as Superman.
Not yet.
You will. You've seen him in the commercial. And so that will be directed by Jonathan Levine, and it will be coming out in theaters probably in early 2027 or late 2026. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your first round of important stuff. That is the X-Rock.
Here's traffic.
Alice in Chains, Man in the Box here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. We don't talk a lot of tennis on this show, Big J.
You're a huge tennis fiend.
I used to be a big tennis fan. I don't think I'd call it so right now. As a matter of fact, I was just reading a story this morning about who the new number one player in men's tennis was, and I had no idea who the man was. So It's been
nobody probably does.
That is correct. It's been a very long time since I had paid close attention to tennis, but there is a situation that happened in France on Tuesday during the Rowan Open. It involves a British tennis player named Harriet Dart. She was playing her match against Louise Besson, a French tennis player, and the match that she ended up getting her butt kicked. Basically, Louise beat her 6-0, 6-3. And after they got done shaking hands, you know, how they meet at the front of the net when they're done and they kind of shake hands, say good game or whatever, and then they go over and they shake hands with the umpire. Usually that's traditional procedure when it comes to a tennis match. Apparently, the Harriet Dart had talked to the umpire and said, hey, for her next match, make sure Louise wears deodorant because she smells really, really, really bad. And the courtside mics picked up the comments and they went into the actual gallery there, which then caused it to be a story.
Oh, gas.
So much
Stinky
so that
tennis player.
People basically called her a sore loser, those kind of things. They were more angry at Harriet for calling her out than anything else. I imagine after a 3-hour tennis match, there's some sweating involved on both sides, and nobody smells their absolute best. But the comments went viral. The apology went viral, saying it was a heat-of-the-moment comment that she regretted. She says that she has a lot of respect for her, and she obviously beat her butt today. She'll learn from this, and she'll move on. So that's nice. Of course, now Louise Besson gets to carry around this burden of being called a stinky tennis player her entire life. That's not great. But she is kind of taking it in stride and joking around that maybe she needs a deodorant sponsorship, and if anybody wants to tag on board and get some free press out of this,
helping her getting an endorsement. There
she'd
you go.
be happy to do it. But it does bring up a particular question. I don't know whether or not it is because she got her ass beat and she was upset about it, or there's actually validity to her comment. But have you ever had to talk to somebody about how much they smell and work on their personal hygiene?
No.
Has that ever been a Big J conversation?
No, that would be some sort of weird turnabout for me.
I think anybody who has had a son has had that conversation with their child. I believe at some point, usually when they're about 11 or 12 years old, they get to the point where you're like, hey, bro, we need to have the deodorant conversation because you can't, you reek, and something needs to be done about how much you stink.
You don't know how bad you smell.
Because puberty is happening and things happen and your pores excrete all sorts of terrible things.
The toxins inside your body are trying to come out.
Yes. And so I imagine this is a conversation most people have had, not everybody, of course, but most people have had to have with their teenager, about to be teenage son, about the use of deodorant and why it's an important thing and how much they stink. But yes, outside of that, if you had to incorporate that or encounter that in your everyday life, it's probably an awkward conversation and nobody wants to have those.
I certainly wanted to when the Marmozets were here. Oh, man, they smell real bad.
Well, you've encountered plenty of smelly rock bands.
Guar.
You didn't enjoy the way People Mover smelled, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Any real rock band that you've had to be in close contact with that involved costumes hasn't been a pleasant experience.
Well, the Marmozets.
Yeah, no costumes there, but
they're just English.
That's true, and probably they were also vanning it up, and as well as I do, that's not the easiest thing to do for personal hygiene.
No.
And they probably wearing clothes they haven't washed in 6 weeks, and so
like a whore's bath.
You're gonna have to go into a gas station bathroom sometimes and just rinse off your parts that get the most stink. But not everybody does that, Big J. So here's hoping you don't have to encounter anybody with BO today or have an awkward conversation.
At least today. We'll see, though.
Yeah, tomorrow you're on your own.
It's early.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. A nerd alert is next on the X Rocks.
Let's go talk to the nerds. Nerd Talk.
The best in tech and gaming. Big J's Nerd Alert on 100.3 The X Rocks.
And what a happy day. We've got another Nintendo Direct happening actually in just a few minutes. It's the third in less than a month, and it's entirely focused on the upcoming Switch 2 launch title, Mario Kart World. And like I said, this starts at about 7 o'clock here this morning, so you can check that out. It'll last about 15 minutes if you want, or you just catch the YouTube replay of it. However, there's still a couple of unknowns. Now, most of these involve the open world aspect, Nick. Are there any rewards for exploration? Are there secret tracks that can only be unlocked by finding them, etc.? Can the same be said of unlockable characters? We don't know anything. Hopefully, we'll get that here today. There's also that elephant in the room, $80 game. It's the first of its kind, and the exorbitant retail price of Mario Kart World has sent many fans into a tailspin. That's a whole lot of money, and Nintendo only recently released its first ever $70 game, so there's a minuscule chance the company will throw us a bone and knock off $10 for the asking price. We'll see. Highly unlikely given the current economic uncertainty. They've also had to do some adjusting on their prices, and Nintendo is saying they'll probably lose some money selling the Nintendo Switch 2 in the United States because of the tariffs. So we'll see. But if you're a fan of that, seeing what this open world Mario Kart game could be. I mean, Mario Kart is just, it's I don't know how to describe it, but it's I think a way of life for some people.
A phenomenon.
Yeah, it's a phenomenon for sure. Can it reproduce that in an open world form? I guess we'll find out today if there's a possibility.
I mean, I also struggle to figure out what an open world Mario Kart game means, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe they'll figure it out for us.
Here's the thing. People get excited about celebrating games, especially when it was the first of its kind, and Doom was really the first person shooter out there. And so there are physical editions of the iconic shooters Doom and Doom 2 coming out thanks to limited run games. All editions ship with both games, but highlight is something called Will It Run Edition, Nick. This one comes with all kinds of extra goodies, including a game box that actually runs the original Doom. It's a box that plays Doom. All you have to do is connect a USB controller, as the box also has a port on it. Now, it costs $666, Nick. Get it? 666?
Yeah.
It's a nod to the devilish source material, and it's being kept to a limited run of 666 copies. It comes with the aforementioned screen-enabled game box that runs Doom, but that's just the beginning. The combo pack ships with a soundtrack on cassette, a certificate of authenticity, and the trading card pack with 5 cards. And it comes with a couple of toys based on one of the franchise's most iconic enemies. There's a detailed 3-inch Cadium concept art of a high 5-inch base. So it looks pretty nifty. It's interesting, and there's a smaller handheld that you'll never guess also runs Doom. So this edition is available for the Switch, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, PC, all of that. And there are some other versions that are much cheaper, Nick. So if it's $666 is too rich for your demonic blood, there's cheaper editions. The Big Box edition costs $100 and ships with both games. A really big box, a trading card, all that other stuff. So there are opportunities there. They've done a little retouching on these games, but not too much. They wouldn't be considered like remakes.
Did you play the game? Did you enjoy
absolutely.
it? Yeah.
Did I enjoy it? I mean, yeah, I guess, because that's all there was in that realm. And then I think Duke Nukem came out, and I got crazy about that.
It predated GoldenEye?
Doom? Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Okay. I'm not familiar, so.
For sure. There is that. And some other news that is not so great, Nick, here in the world of video gaming. Ubisoft is right now in the middle of a lawsuit with a bunch of folks about their game, The Crew. And basically, this is a video game that came out, I think, 2004, and it wrapped up here in 2014, I'm sorry. And in 2024, they shut down the servers. The thing about this game is, Nick, is that this was an online-only game, and the lawsuit is from a bunch of people who are upset that they have terminated the game for the most part. And Ubisoft is saying, you didn't actually own the game when you bought it. You were just buying a license to play the game. So this could have precedence in a lot of forms because it's not a physical game that you couldn't get. Here we are in the time of digital downloads and things like that. And a lot of people are wondering, okay, what is that going to mean for me when I buy a game? You can just take it away and not give me anything in return. That is going to be a pretty big deal going forward, I think, and see what happens with this lawsuit. It's a class action lawsuit against Ubisoft, but that has some interesting implications. Also, kind of reminds you, man, maybe really keep focusing on that physical media because they can just take something like that away.
Well, I don't think it'll go well for the class action people because this is the exact same lawsuit that was filed against Amazon about 3 years ago when they were pulling off titles that people had quote-unquote purchased from Amazon, but really when you go into the deep, deep cloud of it, you're only licensing it as well, and they could yank it away anytime you want to, and people were like, what? And they wanted their stuff back, but that's what we agree to when we do it. That's what all the privacy stuff that we scroll through at the beginning of the games and say, yes, I've read it when you don't really read it. all of that stuff is exactly what you sign off on. So I don't think it'll go well. It's just as, it doesn't make it okay. Because, yes, you think you're purchasing something, but really all you're doing is renting it, and that's a bummer. But, yes, but when you live in the world of digital kind of downloads, that's what you want. If you want an actual physical copy, that's what you're going to have to buy. But there are certain games now that just don't even have that availability, and The Crew is one of them, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing you got to keep an eye out, especially when it comes to, I don't own any of the games I'm playing on, Xbox on the Ultimate Game Pass, because I'm just kind of borrowing them. So it's like a big library that I'm paying for on a daily basis. So if you really want a game, you really love a game, you should try to purchase it. And if it's not available, don't get upset when it's gone.
That's right, because it could happen at any time, and it probably will.
It's your Nerd Alert.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. Important stuff on the way, and a chance to go to Sonic Temple next on the X.
Here's traffic inside the TDS Fiber Traffic Center on
Important stuff.
Launch newsfeed.
On the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Important stuff brought to you by Easter Extravaganza. Going to be out on Saturday at Zoo Boise. It's Easter Extravaganza time. That means the whole family can come on out 10 to 5. It's when it's going on. They got egg hunts. They got candy stations, special Zoo Boise animal experiences, and, of course, a live broadcast for the X and candy going on there. We're going to be giving away some tickets. We got some hot chocolate out there, Big J, for the kids. And we're going to be out there from 10 a.m. to noon broadcasting live, but out there for the full duration of the event. So swing on by and say hello. 10 to 5 on a Saturday. It's presented by Shields, supported by Maple Grove Dentistry. Your smile is your best accessory. And, of course, all of us here at the X Rocks will see you out there at Zoo Boise on Saturday. Talk to our friend Jeff Augusta, Big J.
Yeah.
Very, very soon about that.
Today, right?
That is correct. You nailed it. Big J, egg costs still haven't come down at all. So if you go to the grocery store and you buy a lot of eggs, it's going to cost you some serious cash. Well, there's a pretty big egg-related holiday coming up this weekend I don't have to tell you about, Big J.
No, what is it?
It's called Easter.
Oh, Eggstravaganza?
It's about your buddy Jesus. But
who uses real eggs still?
A lot of people, especially specifically with kids. But they're going, I can't really afford to just grab a bunch of eggs just to dye them because my kids won't touch hard-boiled eggs because they're disgusting. So now what do I do? And so the answer is maybe you try other things. There's, of course, plastic egg alternatives out there that are much, much cheaper. And then there's also the dyed marshmallow kits that Jet Puff have just launched.
Interesting.
It offers a chance to dip and decorate things. It's an activity for kids and adults, just like you can dip and dye Easter eggs, which turns into a family activity. You take the big, gigantic campfire kind of marshmallows, you dip them instead, and then boom. You can also dye potatoes and onions. Some people are doing that as well.
How do you do that with a potato and an onion?
Well, you dip it in colored dye, just like you do other things. And then you let it dry. You're not familiar with the concept?
Yeah, but they have soft outer exterior.
Potatoes don't.
Oh, potatoes aren't soft on the outside?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, you're damn right they are. You're
well,
nuts.
Hang on.
A potato is soft. Like a hard-boiled egg is hard. The outside is hard. It has a shell. A potato does not have a shell.
No, it doesn't.
It's soft.
But it's
just
not
like
soft.
an onion. They have outer shell. They're not hard.
Well, hang on. If you grab a potato in your hand and you cannot crush a potato with
Sure
your
you
hand.
can.
If
Absolutely.
you bake
Give
it,
me a goddamn potato right now. I'll crush it.
I mean, we're talking a full-on hard, like long potato
give me
brown
an
one.
Idaho russet.
And
It is a soft vegetable.
But if you're able to grab a couple of ones, and I'm talking about you're not going to be able to crush them instantly. I mean, usually you have to bake
but
those.
it's not like a hard-boiled egg.
I agree. There is
It's
a difference.
terrible substitute.
There is a
That's
difference.
a terrible substitute.
I don't even like the marshmallow substitute because
It's sticky.
It's
That
sticky. And you put them places. But listen, you have to adapt sometimes when things are expensive.
It's time for tie-dye to go away anyway. Stop dyeing things.
Tie-dye. But
That's got chemicals in it. It's probably bad for the kids anyways.
yeah, but again, there's all sorts of different alternatives out there. I have leaned into the last several years the plastic eggs, mostly because my youngest enjoys playing with them when they're done and they don't go bad. And if they break them, I can throw them away.
You can keep valuables in them.
That is correct. And that's where I hide all my jewelry. And so it is a good alternative and much, much
That's not candy. Those are my diamonds.
cheaper than anything out there. But I'm just telling you what other people are doing. You can even do all sorts of different things, but it's up to you to keep that tradition alive.
Give me a
It is something
potato
you like
right
to-
now.
Yes, I'm sure there's an old potato. There was a potato hiding at your desk for years and years and years.
I wasn't hiding.
You might have been able to crush that one because it had been rotted and stuff, but you know what I mean.
Nice try, pal.
Big J, 3 men were killed and several other injured in a boat crash during a Major League Fishing tournament in Alabama on Wednesday. The fishing community is in mourning. We obviously don't talk a lot about Major League Fishing either, but it is a fairly big kind of community that really kind of has had their whole world rocked courtesy of this tournament accident. Apparently they were going at high speeds and crashed into each other, and that's not great. I mean, a lot of times when you're in these fishing tournaments, it's who can get to the spot the first. And so the kind of boats that you have and the way that you go is incredibly important.
There were cigarette boats from Miami Vice.
They think that may have been a factor in this particular crash. They both were going for the same spot, but it certainly is a dangerous thing that you don't think about because this doesn't happen a lot. So obviously they're going to try to review some rules and regulations and see what happens around that. Big J, your new favorite comedian is going to be hosting the 77th Emmy Awards right before he comes here to the Treasure Valley in December.
Emmy Awards?
The Emmy Awards.
Oh, yeah.
Nate Bargatze is going to be hosting those. He has announced as the host. It's going to air on September 14th on CBS. So if you enjoy the comedy of Nate before he comes down to Extra Mile Arena on December 7th, you can see him on the TV. Hosting and roasting Big J at the Emmy Awards on CBS.
So, he did his Christmas special, which was very funny on CBS. I don't know how, he's not like a work in the room kind of guy. You know what I mean? So that should be interesting.
Yeah. He's not exactly a high energy kind of a dude. That's a different type of delivery.
love him. I think he's hilarious. But I'm like, as a host for a show with celebrity, I don't know how that's going to go. I do know that they put in this that they're like, they want it to be very family friendly, and he's the family friendly comedian.
It's not like the Golden Globes where you go out there and you just make a fun of a bunch of people. You go out there, you do a monologue, and then you
call
kind of
everybody pedophiles.
Keep the show moving, and that's how it goes. Yeah, you save that stuff for the Golden Globe Award.
Oh, and the Oscars?
And the Oscars, yes.
Yeah.
The higher society one, for sure. Morning After with Nick and Big J. Hey, guess what? That's your important stuff. We got an opportunity for you to get qualified for a little thing called Sonic Temple Music Festival. It's on the way next on the X.
Here's traffic inside the TCO Auto.
SCOauto.com.
On 100.3, The X rocks.
Yeah, it is time. 208-287-1003. If you would like to get qualified to go to Columbus, Ohio and check out the Sonic Temple Music Festival. We're talking 4 days. Over 110 bands over those 4 days. It's an awesome time. I believe Big J and I have been out to Columbus, I want to say 9 different times, Big J.
That sounds right.
We have partaken in this music festival. We are speaking from experience when we say you are going to have a very good time. In fact, I challenge you, reach out to any of the people that have won an opportunity to go to the Sonic Temple Festival or Rock on the Range when it was called that. If you can find them, they're alive.
Yeah, one of them is a driver now for bands.
Yeah. They will all tell you it was an amazing experience. You will not regret it.
From the inside out.
They used to be just people that would walk through and go, I wonder what a music festival is like. Like, now they know.
Now they're rock gods.
Is that what it is?
Themselves, yes.
They have become deities themselves?
Yeah.
Well,
they're like the dogs from Ghostbusters.
Is that a good thing? If you'd like to become a dog, get on the phone, 208-287-1003. We have got a trip for 2 to Sonic Temple up for grabs. We are going to have a party to give it away on April 28th at Barbarian Brewing in Garden City, and all you need to do is answer a question correctly to be in the running. Big J's going to give you a last band standing question. It is multiple choice. It is about bands that are playing the Sonic Temple Music Festival. If you can nail it and you are officially getting an invite and your name will be in the hopper for our big old event that's happening on the 28th of April at Barbarian Brewing in Garden City. Big J, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Hello, the X. Good morning, sir. Or man. Hey, what's up, man? What's your name? You there?
What? Hello.
I can't stress this enough, guys. You are calling us.
Yeah, either your Bluetooth is messed up or your speakerphone sucks.
We're not like calling you to make you answer the phone a particular way. You're calling. It's like you're being. You want to be a part of this. I think.
Do you?
I hope. Hello, the X. Hey, what's up, man? What's your name?
Shelby.
All right, you're up first. Good luck.
What does GWAR stand for? Is it A, Galactic Warriors Against Reptilians, God, War, and Rock? Or C, it doesn't officially stand for anything?
Oh, man. I don't think it stands for anything.
That's 100% right.
Well done, my man. You are officially qualified for this Sonic Temple Festival trip. You can join us on April 28th at Barbarian Brewing. Yeah, there was a rumor that what was it supposed to stand for a while?
I have no idea.
Oh, I thought I wrote it down on that sheet of paper. Maybe.
No, I said them.
No.
Oh, God, what an awful rack.
Yes, that's.
Yes,
I couldn't remember when I originally wrote the question, but yes, that's what everybody thinks it is, but it's not officially what it actually stands for. It doesn't stand for anything. Big J, they're real nihilists over there in GWAR.
They don't believe in anything.
Let alone showers. So if you would like to play along, you got 2 more opportunities. Jason Drew is going to play at 12:30, and then Adam's going to play at 5:10. You can also get qualified for the Sonic Temple Festival. It's the morning after with Nick and Big J, and we got ourselves a little bit of We're Going to Hell action. It's next on the X Rocks.
Here's traffic in stories that are incredibly f***ed up. Oh man, we're going to hell.
What the hell is this?
The morning after with Nick and Big J on 100.3 The X Rocks.
Big J, we've been doing We're Going to Hell for almost 18 years. And
Never stops.
We'll never run out of content. That much I promise.
We'll never get through hell.
But I don't think it's happened very often. If it has, maybe once or twice in the entire history of We're Going to Hell. But I'm going to give you a choice as to which We're Going to Hell story you would like to hear, Big J.
Right.
Do you want to hear a story about poo-poo or pee-pee? One I'll say now, the other I'll save for later.
Let's go with poo-poo.
All right.
Poo-poo it is.
Big J says, here's a story for all you fecal heads. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Our story comes to us from Pennsylvania, Big J. And we have a situation. There is a place in Pennsylvania called Royal Farms in Hanover, Pennsylvania. I want you to think of Royal Farms as like a Jackson's equivalent, okay?
Okay.
It is a gas station, but it also is a convenience store. And inside, they have one of those fancy, I guess the only really way you can put it is it's a beer cave, you know? You go into there, and there is a sanctioned off area that is strictly, specifically for beer and alcoholic beverages. It has an actual door that you have to open, and it's nice and cold in there so that the beverages are cold. You understand the concept, right? I don't know if you've ever stepped foot inside one themselves, but they're usually...
No, they have one of the Jacksons here. There's several of them that have...
Exactly. So you understand that they have their own kind of door. It's a little area. Yeah. A lot of times, a lot of it is kind of like... There's not a lot of open space in there, I guess I would say, okay? Well, we have a situation where somebody on Tuesday of last week came into the Royal Farms location there in Hanover, opened up the door to the beer cave, which is the walk-in cooler that you can get select cooled beverages. They basically had an opportunity to pop on in there, Big J. According to security footage, they showed the person pushing a case of alcoholic beverages a little bit further back on the shelf, you know, out of the way. And then she pulled down her pants, Big J, and then she defecated on the shelves and left. So essentially, she used the beer cave as a bathroom. You understand?
Yeah, she wanted a cool place to poop.
Cameras recorded the woman arriving in an SUV. The vehicle was registered to Crystal Gauss, who is 47 years old. And as they looked at the driver's license of Gauss, it matched the suspect that was leaving her vehicle and getting in the vehicle on the surveillance footage, according to police. And so Gauss was arrested yesterday for several crimes, including open lewdness, criminal mischief, disorderly conduct that included creating a hazardous and physically offensive condition. That would be the poop that you're such a big fan of, Big J.
Yeah.
According to the complaint, which does not indicate why she used the beer cave as the toilet, about $80 worth of merchandise was lost as well, because apparently she didn't push the alcohol back far enough, and they had to throw out some of the alcohol that had some of the fecal matter on it. Well, what do you want to do with it?
Discount that sucker. Somebody will buy it. Plenty of grossies out there.
What?
Not me, but
no. Throw it away. The merchandise was lost. Now, here's what we know about Miss Gauss. Crystal lives about a mile away from Royal Farms, so don't know why she couldn't hold it until she got home.
Maybe your bathroom's out of order.
But she currently is the director of food and nutrition for the local school district there in Hanover, so I'm guessing that's probably not going to be very long. Or she's too good at her job, Big J, and she selected a bunch of food that just goes right on through you. And, you know, she had a photo finish, and there was nothing else that she could do except for get her handled right there.
Doesn't the royal place have a bathroom?
I would think. I'm almost 100. I mean, I'm looking at this place. It's gigantic. I'm almost 100% certain it does. Why? Again, unless she's completely out of it and she thought the beer cooler, even then, you're like, this is way too cold for a bathroom. I shouldn't have to push away some alcohol for me to go to the bathroom on this shelf that's not a toilet. But whatever, I guess Royal Farms does things different than any other bathroom I've ever seen. Like, there's no excuse she could give me that would make it make sense at all. It's just somebody that went crap in a beer cooler. And once again, we encourage you, hey, don't do that. That's not okay.
No, it's not.
And so there's your We're Going to Hell story, Big J. Another public defecation. It's happening on the regular.
At least this maybe was like she just had to go to the bathroom. It's not like an on-command type of situation.
Yeah, but again, you know, even if that was the case, there had to be another bathroom, maybe 20 feet away.
What about the cleanup here?
Yeah, I don't know.
Mean,
well, they had to throw some stuff out. I'm
talking about hers.
Oh, yeah. No, listen, there's never any thought of that. People just dump and run is really what it comes up to. And that's crazy to me as well.
Let's do a dump and run. Let's go.
We've got a DNR it here at the Royal Farms. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your We're Going to Hell story. It is the X-Rock.
Important stuff.
What's going on in the news today?
The Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Important stuff brought to you by Inflation Domination. In about 1 hour from now, the X-Dollar Loan Center, Dennis Dillon Auto Group, and the Advocates Injury Attorneys are going to give you a chance to win $2,025 in cold, hard cash as we continue to do that every single weekday. Keywords coming your way at 9, 11, 1, 3 o'clock. All you have to do is text those keywords into us, spell them correctly, and your name is in the hopper for the daily drawing. And yes, the more times you send in the correct keywords, the more opportunities you have to win. So you might want to do all four. That's just my advice to you if you're trying to win some cash. And hopefully you can. Again, it's the Inflation Domination. It's happening. Your first keyword of the day around 9 o'clock or so. Thank you to Dollar Loan Center, Dennis Dillon Auto Group, and the Advocates Injury Attorneys for making that happen. We will be ready, and hopefully your texting fingers will be ready as well. Probably not a surprise, Big J, but according to a new Talker Research survey, about 60% of Americans say they ignore symptoms that don't feel serious to avoid going to the doctor or a hospital. And, of course, the difference between men and women are, I guess, the actual reasons why that's the case. For men, they believe they can, quote, push through their symptoms. And for women, they don't want to overreact. The average person experiences aches and pains 4 times a week. How you doing there, Big J?
Yeah, I mean, that's quite a bit. All right.
Are you ignoring anything right now that you feeling like you can push through?
Yeah.
From a medical standpoint? Me
too. I am, all morning long.
My knee feels like it's about to fall off my body, but am I going to go to the doctor? No way.
I got to work and almost left and went home.
Yeah? For your tummy?
Yeah.
Yeah, see. But you know what's causing your problem.
Right. That's why I hesitate.
But mine is like, well, I mean, I can go broke or I can push through the knee pain. One of the two. Of course, online resources can provide general guidance. There is no substitute for speaking to an actual board-certified, trusted doctor who can assess your symptoms and hopefully diagnose you and give you help. But you're falling back into the money problem again, Big J. I mean, it's if we went to the doctor every time we felt like we were hurting something, I don't think you'd be able to pay the mortgage at all.
No.
And so therein lies the problem, especially as you get older. Younger, you can push through things a little bit more, but, you know, we're also kind of talking out of both sides of our mouth. We understand why we do these things, but the other side is, hey, if there's something wrong, you better make sure you get it checked. Yeah. But in your case, you know what's going on with your symptoms. In my case, I know my knee's hanging from a ligament. It has been doing it for the past 25 years.
Chop that thing off.
Just get rid of it. It's an eventuality anyway. But I'm not ready to do it just yet. The Tampa Bay Rays are playing at the New York Yankees spring training park, Steinbrenner Field, this season because of damage done to Tropicana Field by Hurricane Milton last year. And while the team expected some problems moving into a minor league park, they probably never, ever anticipated a game being delayed by an annoying noise. But that's exactly what happened Tuesday night, as a whistling tone wouldn't stop coming out of the ballpark sound system. It was really loud, high-pitched, and very annoying. It forced umpires to stop the game until they figured out what was causing it. That delayed the game about 30 minutes, Big J. So, hey, listen, minor league baseball parks, not the same as major league ones. They're only used, a couple months out of the year. They're probably going to see some interesting things pop up, and warts and all happening in the stadium, and that's one of them. So that's the first time it's ever been delayed by noise in Major League Baseball history. But, hey, I guess you got to make history sometime. You got a couple of teams currently. I mean, I don't know if in the Major League Baseball there's ever been two baseball teams playing their home games in minor league stadiums, but that's happening this year.
Crazy. With
the A's and the Rays. So don't let your name rhyme with Ray, and you might be okay, apparently. There's lots of shows that are continuing to be made, Big J, but some shows have to be canceled, and Peacock has canceled a couple of their shows. One is based on a true story. The other is Mr. Throwback. Now, based on a true story was kind of a satire of the true crime genre. It starred Kaylee Cuoco and Chris Messina. It lasted 2 seasons, but that's going to do it. Mr. Throwback was a mockumentary comedy style starring Adam Pally and Steph Curry. And that's going to be going away as well. So poor Adam Pally, Big J, has a curse attached to him. Every show he is on gets canceled. Happy endings, the rest. And so he is struggling right now as well. But I never watched either of these two shows, probably part of the problem. Did you ever partake in Based on a True Story?
Nope.
I know you like the true crime stuff, but no?
No, haven't gotten into it.
Don't start. You will never finish it. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your important stuff. We got your Pop Culture Smackdown happening next on the X Rocks.
Here's traffic.
Smackdown.
Right.
On the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Yeah, great Morning After prize package here for you. We have tickets to go see Pop Evil happening the 22nd next Tuesday. The What Remains tour. Pop Evil going to be there. Devour the Day, Return to Dust, and Oni. We've got 2 X sessions happening. We've got Return to Dust on Monday, and then Tuesday Pop Evil. You can get to go to both of those if you want, and bring a friend. You just got to beat Nick in Pop Culture Smackdown.
You want to X-Session it up, you want to meet some bands, you want to go to some concerts, now would be the time to get on the phone. 208-287-1003 if you'd like in on this action. All you have to do is win some Pop Culture Smackdown. I know you have it in you. Big J will be asking the questions. Are you ready, Big J?
I'm ready.
Hello, the X.
Hey,
Hey, what's up, man? What's your name?
Mike.
All right, Mike, you're up first. Good luck.
Mike, name one band that Maynard James Keenan is a singer of. He's got 3 at least.
Christopher.
There you go. Nice work. Nick, this ABC drama introduced us to Jennifer Garner way back in 2001.
Alias.
Alias is correct. Right. Well done. What sport uses clowns to protect the competitors?
Bull riding.
I'll take it. Right. Rodeo would have been another good answer. Nick, in The Walking Dead, what were the Dixon brothers' first names?
One is Daryl. And Michael Rooker is the other, but he was only in the first half of season 1.
Yeah.
Maybe even 3 episodes. Daryl and Donnie.
Johnny and Daryl. That is incorrect. You gotta think more redneck.
Yeah.
Merle.
Oh, Merle. Right. Yep, Merle.
Daryl and Merle.
Yeah, it sounds familiar as soon as I heard it, but yeah, I don't think I would have been able to pull. I certainly didn't pull that out. But
hey, you got Daryl. That's good.
Hey, congratulations, Mike. You are all set and ready to go for some Pop Evil action. A couple of X sessions coming your way as well. Good job. Hang on 1 second. We'll make sure you're good to go there. Morning After with Nick and Big J. All goes well. We're talking to Jeff Augusta from Zoo Boise next on the X Rocks. That is Basket Case here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. Speaking of baskets, Easter is right around the corner, and Easter Eggstravaganza is happening once again at Zoo Boise, and it's always great when we have a big event at Zoo Boise. We get to welcome in our friend Jeff Augusta from the zoo to talk about all the things happening on Saturday. Good morning, Jeff. You came prepared for the interview. We appreciate it.
I did. I actually have the Easter Bunny costume on and have the candy, and I will not be the Easter Bunny on Saturday. We have the real Easter Bunny coming, of course. But yeah, so Saturday is our big Easter extravaganza. There is going to be, candy stations all throughout the zoo. The animals are going to get Easter-themed treats that people can watch them rip open and interact with. There's going to be vendors, activities, animal encounters. Of course, the whole zoo will be open, and we're just excited to welcome everybody on Saturday for this good family event. Oh, both the front and the back entrance will be open, so wherever you're parking, you'll be able to easily get to the zoo.
Oh, that's music to my ears. But yeah, it's great because this has been an annual event for you guys, and we've kind of talked about it because you've been nice enough to invite us the last couple of years. We're going to be out there broadcasting live and out there handing out candy. But man, I know that we have purchased 50,000 pieces of candy just for us, and I know there's tons of other candy stations around the zoo. I mean, we're probably in the hundreds of thousands of pieces of candy that are going to be handed out Saturday at the zoo, I imagine.
That'd be a great study just to do. But there's you guys. We have lots of other vendors that'll be handing out candy. Of course, the zoo's going to have a bunch of stations. So easily in the hundreds of thousands, I'm sure. Yeah.
It's, I wonder if we get it to 1 million. I mean, I bet you we're pretty damn close. I mean, there's so many candy stations there. And tons of kids and families that go through. Every one of them getting a piece of candy almost everywhere you turn around. It's a really cool and really fun event.
Yeah, no, exactly. And if we get to 1 million, I should use that in my marketing.
I think so.
1 million.
I mean, I would not be shocked because, there's a lot of candy there. But it's above that. It's also about making sure people have a great time at the zoo and understand how great Zoo Boise is and talk about animal conservation and all the things that are incredibly important to you guys because, you are getting ready to open up a brand new exhibit and the zoo's going to look a little bit different here in a couple of weeks, but I imagine it's a big time for you guys as well.
It is, yeah. Like you said, every visit that comes to Zoo Boise, part of that goes to conservation. 100% of the animal encounters go to that as well. It's part of our mission. You come, you learn about the animal. Hopefully you want to take steps in your own life to protect these species that you're learning about, and then knowing that money is also going to actually help them in the wild as well. And our Red Panda Passage is going to be opening May 14th. That's going to be a big deal. It's a brand new, state-of-the-art, one-of-a-kind, really massive Red Panda complex. And we're going to be able to hold a bunch of red pandas. People are going to, we're really putting our money to the species that we're helping in the wild. So Red Panda Network is one of our big partners. And so we really want people to learn about where their money is going and really invest in those species that we can really help.
This is a special event that's coming up on Saturday. It's going on from 10 until 5, which is basically the entire time the zoo is open, which is a pretty big deal. Of course, we talked about it. It's basically almost free with regular admission if you get in.
Yep.
And if you are a member of the zoo, you can also use this to get in for the extravaganza on Saturday too, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you're a member, it's free. If not, adults are 13, kids are 10, so it's affordable. It's open 10 to 5. Last admission is at 4.
Plus, it's just fun, man. It's fun for everybody, and I think probably some of the animals as well. They just, there's some different activity is always probably a welcome thing maybe for them.
Yeah, I mean, our animals usually, they're used to people being around. They're used to the noises of the city. If we see an animal being stressed for some reason, they have the choice to go in the back and hang out until they're ready to come back out. But most of them are very... Especially our lions, they seem to get very interested in what's going on. Yeah.
How do they react to things like costumes, like the costume bunny?
Most of the time they don't. They don't react. They'll be occasionally, especially around Boo at the Zoo. I know we're jumping way ahead, but there's times that there'll be a certain costume that an animal does not like, and it lets you know. And as long as and then as long as people aren't bothering the animal.
Oh yeah, sure. Don't be an idiot.
Yeah, then we're okay. But the animals have the choice of where they want to go. We always give them choice and freedom and all that, and that's part of good well-being for the animals.
Absolutely. If you're looking for any more information on the event that's happening on Saturday, zooboise.org has the details. Of course, the X is going to be out there broadcasting live from 10 to noon, but we are out there all day as well, giving away candy, giving away some tickets. We're going to have some hot chocolate while it lasts out there, although it looks like it's going to be an absolutely gorgeous day on Saturday, so I imagine you're expecting a lot of people through those gates, huh?
Yeah, there'll be people, but luckily there's a lot of parking now that other festivities in the parks aren't happening. There's now parking in the front and the back, and like I said, both gates will be open. So you're going to be able to hopefully find a parking spot near the zoo.
Awesome.
We're always excited to have you in. And Jeff, I mean, I know you like coming in here and talking to us, but you had mentioned that we are the morning show of your dreams.
Yeah, so I have to tell you. Okay, I didn't know if we were going to have time for
No,
this, so
we
I got to tell this.
We'll make time.
Yeah. So I did have a dream about you guys a couple nights ago, okay? So, disappointing. No, I'm just kidding.
That tracks.
So I won't say which store, but in my dream, for some reason, I am suing a big box store, okay? Okay, and their lawyer is Christopher Walken.
Okay.
And he's telling me you either drop the lawsuit or trouble's coming. Okay, and I'm like, no, I had a good reason. I've never sued anybody in my life, but I'm suing this big box store.
Okay.
And I won't say which one. But anyway, so trouble's coming. I'm getting ready. I'm like, no, I got to man up here. And so I go outside, and he sends the two of you. Okay, and this posse.
We're
you have
his underlings.
Yeah,
okay.
You have like 4 or 5 guys with you, big dudes, okay, as your posse. And I'm like, what are you guys gonna do this to me? We're friends. Like, why you do this? And so now I don't know why, but you guys explained to me that you owe Christopher, like it's like your life or death. Like you you owe him like one favor, like the Dawn or something.
We're not under the thumb of the big box store. We're under the thumb of Christopher Walken.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
I feel better about that.
I do feel better about that as well.
And so your weapons of choice is, Big J, you have a Nerf football. And Nick, you have a spork, like a plastic spork. And I'm like,
those are backwards.
Yeah. I'm like,
I should have the spork.
Yeah, I'm like, this is what you guys brought. And you're like, you've never had to like rough somebody up before. So you huck the football at me really hard, and then you stab me with the spork, and it just breaks. It like gives me a little scratch.
Oh,
okay,
thank God.
And there's like a drip of blood, and you're like I'm sorry. So you call Christopher Walken. It's like, the deed's done. This is what you did. We're all good now. You guys are off the hook for whatever you owe him for. And then now we just cut to this montage of like we're all like kids in the neighborhood. We just start throwing with your posse too.
Okay.
We're playing a game of pickup.
We're
football.
all friends.
Perfect.
We're watching Tom and Jerry.
All right.
And then we're eating pizza and playing Mario Kart on N64, and then I woke up to my child screaming. So
Jeff, you have the weirdest dreams ever. But at least we're friends at the end.
No, we're all good buddies, and even this collection of ruffians with you are all our buddies too. So.
All right, well, good, good. I'm glad we didn't come at you with real weapons. That would make me feel like there's some sort of animosity there for us. But it feels like we all ended up friends.
I did some analyzing, and I know what the dream means.
Okay,
it means everybody should come to Easter Extravaganza on Saturday and get candy, meet the Easter Bunny, and support Zoo Boise.
Well played.
You should get a raise from Zoo Boise just for that altogether. But he is right. Join us on Saturday for Easter Extravaganza. It's happening at Zoo Boise, and here's hoping we stay in your dreams, Jeff. Thank you for coming in, man. We appreciate
I hope so.
it. Yeah,
Thank you.
Me too. Morning After with Nick and Big J. Inflation Domination next to the X.
On the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Let's give away some tickets, man. We have got some. We got a show coming up next Tuesday at the Knitting Factory, Pop Evil, and the What Remains tour. Great lineup, man. Devour the Day, Return to Dust, Oni, and then, of course, Pop Evil. So we'll hook you up with those tickets. We got a couple of days of X sessions as well. Monday, Return to Dust. Tuesday, Pop Evil. We'll hook you up with both of those sessions if you can make it. Either way, to get this, you just need to figure out bad impressions today.
Get to hear the bands play acoustically. You get to meet the bands as well. These X sessions are pretty cool, really intimate, awesome experiences to meet some of your favorite people. If you want to get in on it, get on the phone. 208-287-1003. Big J is going to give you 3 clues. They're all going to point in the direction of somebody that is pretty famous. If you can figure out that famous person in 3 clues or less, congratulations. It's you grabbing all of these particular prizes. Let's get ourselves a contestant. Hello, the X.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, man?
Good.
Who's this?
Marshall.
All right, Marshall, you're up first, man.
I had so much fun making Dancing with Wolves that I thought, why not make an American Western saga?
I have a very good idea, but drop it on me again.
I had fun being in Yellowstone, but I make movies and American sagas.
Well, I think I'll go with Kevin Costner.
All right, good guess.
Nailed it. Hang on one second, Marshall. We'll hook you up with those prizes. What was clue 3?
Bull Durham and Field of Dreams seems like 30 years ago. Dang.
Because it was. Or more than that.
I know,
in some
man.
cases.
Bull Durham especially.
Why is Kevin Costner in the news?
Yeah, he can't just let it go. He loves cowboying. He loves the Westerns, and he will be premiering on the History Channel May 26th, a 3-episode ordeal called The American West, and he'll be showcasing events such as the journeys of Lewis and Clark and the resistance of Native American tribes. That's something that he's very passionate about. So we will get him in full history form in May.
One of the many, actually probably one of the main themes of Yellowstone, now that I think about it. But will you watch? You're a big fan of history stuff.
Yeah, I might check that out. Who knows? Maybe that'll even get me into Horizon. I haven't touched it yet. So.
Well, I mean...
I do. I mean, I love Westerns, but I don't, it seems like a commitment, man.
Well, not only is it a commitment to watch that first one, you now know part 2 and 3 isn't going to be made. So whatever story he's creating is never going to finish. So I can't see the point in ever watching that. But hey, man, if you want to, you do you. I will never get in your way. But you just know whatever story they're trying to set up. I mean, at least not in the form that Kevin Costner originally intended. That movie lost so much money, and all of it his. I can't imagine he's going to go back to that well 2 more times.
I feel like he really messed up with the Yellowstone thing.
I
mean, if he had brought those folks with him, it would have been a different story. But he fought it instead of tried to combine them.
And I told you that I watched Yellowstone, right?
Yeah.
All the way through. But boy, did they do him dirty on that show. I got to be honest, man. I mean, they did. Like, you could tell things were ugly.
So you've watched the series now, right?
Yeah, the whole thing. I'm done.
So would it have been the same without him? Would it have had the...
No. They definitely had to pivot the way that show really ended, and whatever they were setting up and they were planning to do, there's no way they could have done it without him. And they totally took it in a separate way the final couple episodes, which was a real bummer. But yeah, he didn't give him much choice. I mean, the show was held hostage for 3 years. Yeah. And they had to do something. So yeah. Morning After with Nick and Big J. We wrap up the show here next on the X Rocks.
DQ presents.
That's the latest from Ghost. It is Satanized. Wrapping up the Morning After with Nick and Big J on this Friday. Thank you for hanging out with us. God, we appreciate it. Got busy there towards the end of the show, Big J.
Yeah, big time, man.
Special thank you to Two Men and a Truck for swinging by and talking about the big Movers for Moms event that is happening all day tomorrow at Fred Meyer's across the Treasure Valley. A reminder, we are going to be out at the one on Chinnen in Garden City from 3 to 5 p.m., broadcasting live, collecting as many different things that you can drop off that's on the list to help out the WCA and the Advocates Against Family Violence. That's going to be a very important thing to help out people and victims of domestic violence here in the Treasure Valley. So your attention to detail on that is appreciated. Big J is going to be out there tomorrow broadcasting live. Thank you to Jeff Augusta from Zoo Boise swinging by in his Easter Bunny outfit to talk about Easter Eggstravaganza and about, let's be honest, Big J, pretty sexy dream he had about you and I. And we also had a chance to give away some Pop Evil tickets today. That will continue tomorrow. Big J, that does leave you with the floor.
Hey, sad news for sports fans, I think, in a lot of ways. Longtime ESPN college football analyst Lee Corso, after 38 seasons of doing game day and covering ESPN's college football, is calling it a day. He's retiring after the first week of edition of College Game Day. So, and later in August, that will be happening. And I think they'll probably be retiring along with it. The head mascot thing, they do so many different things now.
They have to. That's his total thing. Like, they have to let that go. I mean, certainly well deserved. Have they announced where that week 1 game is going to be or where they're going to be?
I don't think so. Yeah, that's pretty far out for announcing game
Very
days.
true. But they know the schedule already. So I mean, I imagine there's going to be
Boise, Idaho, baby,
a marquee matchup in week 1 that they're going to be out for the Kickoff Classic possibly, but certainly one of the most electric guys in college football. For a long time, he was the dude that brought the personality on that show.
Yeah.
You know, Kirk and Chris were very good at what they do, but they were very much straight men, and Lee Corso was the one that you would tune in for the laughs and the fun that made it kind of entertaining and cool to tune into. So certainly he is well-deserved in his retirement, and have a good one, Lee. Did you talk to him when he was ever here for game day?
No, I didn't get a chance to.
I'm trying to think. Did we have a conversation with him at the Fiesta Bowl?
No, I mean, I didn't.
Who did we talk to on the field?
That was, he was a Fox analyst, did a lot of NFL stuff. Chris something.
Chris something?
Not Fowler. It wasn't one of the main guys at ESPN College Game Day.
I could not remember. My apologies to Lee Corso for confusing the two. Morning After with Nick and Big J. That is it for us. We will see you all tomorrow. Jason Drew's up next. It's the X Rocks.